Now, humanitarian appeals always help. They penetrate deeper than political trade-offs. These are the words of Jesse Jackson. In this report, we speak to a man whose acts of service validate this quote as he earns a seat in a land where all odds were against him. Take a look. Pius Ali, the first African-born Muslim American to be elected to a public office in Maine, United States, being sworn into office as city councilor in Portland.
I was born and raised in Ghana at a place called Nsawam.
Pius, a Ghanaian photojournalist whose birth-given name is Abdullah, was on a trip to the US to procure photography equipment before he migrated to the United States in 2002. It was barely 1 year after the bombing of the World Trade Center by extremists on September 11, 2001. Faced with the stigma of being a Muslim in America, Pius left the city of New York to Maine, a migrant-dominant community where his journey of becoming a city councilor began.
When I was coming up as a public servant, I never knew that what I was doing was going to build up to an elected office.
In this interview with TrustTV, he tells us how he penetrated cultural and religious barriers through service to his community.
Well, I think elected office, it was for me was an elevation, an elevated platform, because I was working with young people in the neighborhood. But then I realized that the challenges that these young people are facing, the odds that have been stacked against them, is not just in the neighborhood that I am. It impacts their parents and then many other people in the community. So if I've been able to help these young people, I've been able to work on the board of education to make a change, then the possibilities of me scaling up what I'm doing at the city level is possible. And also I believe that the people of the city that I live in have paid close attention to the work that I do. So when I throw my name into the hat or throw my hat into the ring, I came up tops.
Working with City of Portland's refugee services, Pius spent many summers working as a facilitator for Seeds of Peace, a summer program which builds relationships and leadership skills among youth from regions of conflict.
So politics is politics wherever you find yourself in the world, right? However, there is one piece when I talk to people, I say that when you lead with compassion, when you lead, what I mean by that is that when you find yourself in a leadership position, whether it is elected or appointed, there's one thing that you need to know. There's one thing that should be at the center of everything that you do, that you are not there because of who you are. Anybody at all could or should or may have been given that opportunity. You are there for a reason, which is to serve the people.
Being a youth and community engagement specialist at the University of Southern Maine's Mosque School of Public Service, his dedication to serving his community set him apart for a much bigger role in the community he lives. Pius hopes to see an Africa that will compete favorably on the global stage.
I would love to see an Africa that is a leader in the world. An Africa, we are already providing, we're giving so much to the world. I want to see that reflect in the lives of Africans. I want to see an Africa where if you drive on the streets, you don't see burgers. I want to see an Africa where the African is self-sufficient, taking care of its own business. I want to see an Africa who goes proudly to the world stage, not with an empty plate, asking for something to put into that plate. I want to see an Africa that the world respects and the world give back what we deserve when they take our resources. I want to see an Africa that receives something that is worth the resource that the world is taking away from us. I want to see an Africa whose kids will not be walking from one continent to the other so that they can end up in a country whose culture they don't understand, whose language they don't understand.
For Pius, public service is a call he has answered and will continue to impact humanity wherever he finds himself.
Elected office is a public service. It is a calling, just like the way you have an imam, you have a teacher, you have a priest, or whatever it is, people who serve the community that they live in. Elected office should be the same. So I saw it as a calling That is my calling. I'm supposed to lead. I'm supposed to make policies that impact the life of everyone who live within that jurisdiction.
This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go.